Nah, it's a sincere care they have for society. No, none of them actually care. Here, let's look at this one. Retail brands have the freedom to go woke. We have the freedom to create an alternative. Unite us.
But what happened next? No one expected. Sports went woke. See that guy standing while everyone else is kneeling? That's Jonathan Isaac. He plays for the Orlando Magic in the NBA. He also happened to be one of the few NBA players who publicly expressed discomfort with supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. This all came to a head when the players on his team decided to collectively kneel during the national anthem. So he did what he felt was right. He stood. Now, Jonathan is launching his own apparel company.
I love this. This is literally okay. Everything about this is like, it's so lib coded. You know what I mean? When I told you, like, everyone ultimately at the end of the day is a fucking liberal, this is what I mean. Like, this could straight up be done by Vox.com. You know what I mean? It's the same messaging, it's the same language, it's the same editing, and the ultimate goal is the same as well. It's basically to provide an alternative brand, okay, made in the same fucking factories, probably even cheaper products, right? That is supposedly not woke.
Now, Jonathan is launching his own apparel company called Unitus in hopes of bringing people together over love of God and country.
Unitus is a sports and apparel company, and the basis of it for me is freedom. You have companies that are in that field who have made a...
Dude, my least favorite type of NBA players are these motherfuckers, bro. Like NS Contada and shit, you know what I mean? I don't know how good this guy is, but like immediately I suspect that they're not that good. If they're doing this, they're trash, you know what I mean? So trash you couldn't even do the dignified thing and go to China. You know what I mean? That's when you know. Not good at all. He hasn't played in 3 years. He averaged 11 minutes and 5 points. Like, go do the right thing. If you're decent enough, play in the EuroLeague. If you're even worse, you know, or again, just go play in China, okay? Learn Mandarin, motherfucker. I don't want to hear this bullshit. I don't want to hear this, like, fucking woke nonsense, okay? I'm sorry. It's always, like, the shittiest guys that do it, too. Like, people always say, like, oh, LeBron, his, like, political activism is bullshit. He should shut up and dribble. It's like, motherfucker, he does dribble. The only reason why you care about it is because it's LeBron, okay? Like, he's still fucking balling. Same with Kyrie. Okay? Same with fucking Kyrie. Kyrie is a great example of this. He's still balling. Okay? He's still fucking balling. Less swept? Okay, chill. Kyrie's not still balling. Kyrie is kind of weird as fuck. He has some extremely bad injury luck. Kyrie balls so hard, he makes me almost believe the vaccines are bad. Dude, listen, his shoes are fire. He's fire. I'm defending Kyrie. I don't give a fuck. If he kneels, he'll tear his ACL again.
conscious decision to either attack or undermine Christian values, you know, conservative values and things like that. And I think that they have the free choice to do so.
Didn't Kyrie say he hates Jews? No, he never. No, dude. No. He is a dumbass who promoted a fucking documentary that was anti-Semitic. the documentary he posted was literally like, the documentary was, I fucking doubt he even watched the documentary, okay? Like, there's no shot. He just promoted it because it had like some cool Hotep imagery, and he thought like, oh, this is sick. And then he had to do the dumb guy thing and like double down. Like that, it's a classic. It's a fucking I told you at the time, like this was only as big as a news story as it was because of Kanye West. Because at the time everyone was like looking for, like it just made sense to like contextually loop these two separate incidents together, because another famous black guy, he's like being anti-Semitic. Look at that. Like that's what, wrong place at the wrong time, basically. I feel like that's insanely charitable where it's not deserved, to be honest. Dude, I'm sorry. You will not be able to convince me even back then that he was like legitimately and actually like ideologically an anti-Semitic person, rather than a fucking dumbass who is basically continuing down that same mentality of like, I'm the smartest guy in the room. I believe the earth is flat. You are talking about a flat earther. You are talking about a flat earther, okay? He's one of those like crunchy granola guys who wants to be so woke. And, you know, he's like interested in becoming woke. But instead of like, I don't know, reading fucking anything that is like sound and not silly, he just like is looking for, he's looking for like alternative medicine, alternative sources. And then that's what happens when you do that. You end up, you know, hitting some fucking dumbass beats there where people go, oh my God, what the fuck? What are you, like, insane? What you're saying is insane. Stupid equals immune from being a Nazi? No, a lot of Nazis are stupid. But a lot of Nazis are, like, literal fucking Nazis. Kyrie Irving is not. I mean, I said it back then, too.
As much as I disagree, but I feel that we also have a freedom to create what we want.
He's like a flat earther seed oil guy, not a fucking Nazi.
The hope is to be able to sign athletes across all different sports and to create a real infrastructure of people who are in the sports world, moms and dads who want to buy their kids sneakers and clothes, but want to give their money to a company that they...
I would be more, if you were to tell me, not knowing anything about this dude, just by the sheer fact that he's like working and collaborating with Prager U, I would be more willing to believe that this dude is closer to like ideological Nazi ideas than Kyrie Irving, okay? I don't even know anything about this fucking guy. I just know that he's getting the bag from Prager U, okay? So the fact that he stood during Black Lives Matter protests and like doing this shit 100% seems closer, in my opinion, to white supremacist values or even anti-Semitic values than Kyrie Irving. Not saying that he is, by the way. I'm not. I don't think he's like, I've seen nothing of him, so I don't know.
They know is going to work towards bolstering their values.
Ready to go, up in the way, moving the tide, starting the way.
We can be proud of what we believe in. You know, we don't have to hide or be ashamed of it. As the day continues to get, you know, darker and darker and crazier, you standing up for what you believe in is only going to get harder, but is only going to become more and more necessary.
Roll the dice, oh, you wanna try. Left to right, hey, it's time to slide.
You also say this so you won't have to say you have the shoes of a Nazi? Bitch, you think I give a fuck about that? I don't give a fuck about that. Suck my dick, dude. Hey, listen. If some motherfucker, if it came out that some motherfucker had like crazy white supremacy, if the Yeezys had ankle support for a big boy like me, I'd be rocking them shits all day. I don't give a fuck. Separate the art from the artist. Okay? Yeezys are awful. They've never been cool, so I don't have an issue saying that. But if Yeezys were like the Kyrie Irving Flat Earther 7s, you literally bought them on stream. Yeah, I know. I very openly bought it. because they were going out of sale. So I bought a lot. I bought like 4 of them. Pure evil on your feet. Pure evil on my feet. These are Nazi shoes. Yeah, Flat Earther 7s are fire, dude. I ball the fuck out in them, okay? I also literally drive a Nazi car. I don't know if you know this, but I own a Porsche. And I'm pretty sure those motherfuckers work with the Nazis, okay? So, you know. I'm unfollowing. Separating the art from the artist is a privilege. Hoss, daddy, love you. I love when people say shit like that. Yeah, dude. You can't fucking... like, you consume everything ethically, I know. When you're from a marginalized community, that's what you do.
But it didn't end in sports.
Oh, wait, I want to see more of it. They made a documentary?
Of society. I needed to talk to somebody who
Classes.
A lot of people are going to hear that and go, he's doing it the old-fashioned way, focusing his investment decisions on across the United States to try to find those answers. And perhaps, in finding those...
Dude, they are so well funded. It's crazy. Orlando wouldn't pay him enough to be... Orlando wouldn't pay him enough, so we had to do a right-wing grift. Yeah. Someone yelled at me for wearing Gosha Adidas socks the other day because they have Cyrillic on them. I had no idea how to respond, lol. Wait, why? Do they not know? If people get mad at you for using Cyrillic, I assume it's because it's like Russian, right? But what do they think? What do they think Ukrainians use? Like they use Cyrillic too. That's so fucking stupid, dude.
Those answers, we'll find a way to end wokeism once and for all. So much of the talk around woke seems to be just that, talk. At the end of the day, nothing will change if those of us who
I love the conservative movement doing consumer activism and like
disagree with
spending a lot of
wokeism
time,
don't take
energy,
action
and initiatives on
ourselves.
consumer
To
activism.
understand what can be done about it, we need to understand the world in which it originated.
It's so funny. They're literally like, what can be done about woke commodities? That's right. You have to just buy our shit instead. Ooh, it happens to be the exact same shit, except with a markup. It's called a stupid tax. That's what people are calling it. From the people that brought you pink tax, we've decided we are going to do an idiot tax. If you want to buy the exact same shit, it's even worse quality for a higher markup, come and purchase it from us instead, the middlemen. Awesome.
My first stop was to talk to the man who literally wrote the book on woke. Here we are in Columbus, Ohio.
Big L.
The first questions, what is wokeism? And where did it come from? Hi, Vivek.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Meet Vivek Ramaswamy. He recently founded Strive Asset Management, an investment management firm that's challenging industry titans like BlackRock and Vanguard. He's doing it the old-fashioned way, focusing his investment decisions on excellence.
They're like, we hate BlackRock and Vanguard, so we chose to make our own BlackRock, but this time racist.
Over politics. But before Strive, he founded a multi-billion-dollar biotech company called Roivant Sciences. They were literally working to cure cancer. Until, at the height of Black Lives Matter, his board and employees demanded Vivek speak out in full support of the organization and the movement.
Wait, are you telling me that this dude was on the cusp of curing cancer, and then his employees were like, hey, Black Lives Matter, and he was like, no, fuck that. We're done. Like, what kind of argument is this? Let's say it's real for a brief moment. Let's just suspend our disbelief and think that this is a real story that happened. Why would that actually make the dude that you're presenting look any better? Like, he's just like, yeah, man, it's actually the Black Lives Matter protest that stopped me from curing cancer because I got pissed off that they were advocating for the black employees. Like, okay, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. You're a horrible person.
And he couldn't
Get back to work and fucking cure cancer right
do it
now.
with a clear conscience.
But I stepped down as
So
CEO.
he
Oh my God, he stepped down. Like, it wasn't even like, we're going to do a struggle session here and it got in the way of cancer research or whatever. He just straight up was like, what? Black Lives Matter? They don't matter. I'm stepping down. Fuck cancer.
left the company that he created. Because of this experience, Vivek wrote a book you might have heard of called Woke Inc.
Yeah, dude, this kind of stuff always comes out later down the line. Like, I don't know what the fuck this dude's deal is, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was like he was sexually harassing the fucking, college freshman interns that they had or some shit. And then he fucking stepped down for that reason. But then he was like, oh, it's because everyone's so woke. I love this story, though. I love the story that they've presented. Not saying that that's definitely what happened, but usually that is what happens. But I love the story that he presented, that he was no longer interested in curing cancer because Black Lives Matter. Like, how uncommitted were you to the cause of curing cancer that you dropped it, like, on a fucking dime because of the, because of the Black Lives Matter protest? Why do you think this makes you look good? That's another question I have. I don't get it.
Wrote a book
Yes, I know. This is Squeaks running for
called
president.
Woke Inc. I think a lot of people
At first, I thought he looked like Squeaks, but the more I see him, the more I realize he doesn't actually look like Squeaks. I was just being racist.
are going to hear that and go, "What's woke?" So Vivek, what's woke?
Yeah, wokeness refers to being alert to invisible injustices perpetuated against disempowered classes of
Oh, God, I'm so mad. Oh, no. What?
people, generally defined on genetically inherited characteristics like race, gender, and sexual orientation. Basically borrows from the tropes of Marxism, which was this oppressor-oppressed narrative. But wokeism was not just Marxism, it was the merger of Marxism with identity politics. The idea that you are nothing more and nothing less than the genetic stock that you inherit on the day you're born. So that's what you sort of refer to as the trend of modern wokeness.
Okay.
Now, this is a fringe philosophy. I mean, this was a theory from the halls of academia, and it was a challenge to the system. It was an interesting set of ideas. Does it mean it was all coherent? No, not necessarily. But it was interesting. It was provocative. It was a different way of looking at human relations. It was an interesting worldview in some classroom at some liberal arts university somewhere. But wokeness at some point moved from being about being a challenge to the system to becoming.
Oh, he's like one of those. He's like one of those guys. He's one of those guys who's like, oh, wokeness was fine, when it was like the civil rights movement. But now it's not fine because somehow it got out of control.
System. So to really understand the origin story of wokeism, you have to understand academia first. That's where it was born. It was born as an infant there. Became an adolescent somewhere else, but let's start with the infancy. That's where it began.
Say the Jews did it.
At the end of the day, the rise of wokeism wasn't an overnight phenomenon. It's actually been in the works for years. So like many bad ideas, wokeism started in academia. But why? And why
Why are they not saying it's the Frankfurt School? We know that's what you want to say. Just say it, man.
didn't it stay in the ivory tower? How did this cancer infect every other area of society? I needed to talk to somebody who understood academia and from a long-term, multifaceted perspective. And so I traveled to Washington, D.C.
I love that, like, conservative commentary now straight up is just like, if you're educated, you're learning to be a homosexual Marxist, and it's bad. Please stop getting educated. Do not read. Do not read. Stop reading. Stop going to school. It's bad for you. I promise it's not good. It's no good. School is no bueno. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Education is really bad. Really, really bad, actually. Please stop educating yourselves.
To talk to a visionary who did something many people consider to be impossible. He founded a new college that now rivals the Ivy League. This is Michael Ferris. He started Patrick Henry College, a classical liberal arts college just outside of Washington, D.C. In only 20 years of the college's existence, Patrick Henry graduates have become leaders in the highest halls of power, including Congress, Hollywood, and the White House. And this sort of cultural impact was by design. Ferris has been fighting wokeism before it was even called.
This motherfucker, it's required you're stupid to believe this stuff? Yeah. This motherfucker literally went and made a liberal arts university, but like even more filled to the brim with like fucking nepotist fail children. Affirmative action for conservatives? Yeah, literally, dude. What the fuck? Hey, man, if you're rich, white, and conservative, we have affirmative action programs for you. Don't worry. Like, we got this college.
Called wokeism. And more importantly, he's been winning.
And I dare anyone to read my legal analysis.
Through Patrick Henry College...
Dude, oh, God. Look at this Vox.com ass fucking editing there. Look at this.
And more importantly...
They put a thug hat and the thug life glasses on him. Look.
Winning.
And I dare anyone to read my legal analysis.
Oh, dude, it's thug life, bro. This 76-year-old pervert is winning. He's thug life, dude. He fucking built a WASP academy. Bro, he said, I dare you to read my legal analysis. That is the least thug life moment of all time. Okay? He literally did, actually, please read my legal analysis. And you're like, oh, fucking sick, dude. Fucking own. Get wrecked, libtards. This dude is like the first case of an adult that needs to be stuffed into a fucking locker, okay?
Through Patrick Henry College, Mike is taking the battle against woke to the source by educating new generations of students in a rigorous, truth-focused education. Where do you think wokeness started? What's your theory there?
Where I was seeing it mostly was in the schools of education. They were...
At least Patrick Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire fail daughters is like in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society. Think about it. Think about it. It makes sense. Don't they feel dumb just saying wokeism all the time? No, they don't. They are dumb. They are very dumb.
Teaching there is no truth, but what they meant is we're going to undermine the objective truth that you believe in and pretend that all truth is relative, and we're going to follow that up eventually with our truth. And that idea is now we're going to jam our truth down your throat and you better kneel. You raise a generation that's told at the university that nobody can disagree with you. You take that attitude to campus.
No, that's a really bad take. Damn. Wait, what? What's a really bad take? Brother, you think it's funny when I talk about the Florida policy, but when I fucking hammer it in for just a university, for a liberal arts college, you get mad? I'm not saying it's not going to fucking... We need to start to bully people for being right-wing weirdos instead of bullying them for being a minority. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, you don't like it because it's an edgy joke, okay? But if you investigate the bearings of the joke itself, you will fucking understand it. It's not. I'm not stating that it's a good thing that date rape is happening. I'm saying that date rape from these people are inevitable, so at least it's contained to others from the same fucking stock. That's the joke itself. I know that you can't comprehend it. I'm not saying it's good that it's happening. Let's have more of it. So shut the fuck up, you dense ass motherfuckers. Oh my God, I hate literally being a leftist so fucking much. Oh my Lord, dude. There's a reason why we don't do You Laugh, You Lose anymore. We will never be able to do it. God, I just fucking hate it. And now, for the next 35 minutes to possibly 3 hours, there's always going to be people that keep coming back to it and be like, remember 3 hours ago when you said that? That was really fucked up. Jokes about rape are never okay. Got it, man. You're right. You're so fucking morally righteous. This is not a joke about rape, okay? Just because there's a rape mention in it doesn't mean that it's like trivializing rape. Shut the fuck up, okay? That is a you problem, that you cannot comprehend what the joke intends to argue for, okay? I'm saying those are the guys who are most likely to do date rape. That was the joke itself. Fuck!
You think that's the way the whole world should be like, and that's what you believe. That's the way you were trained. And you will not be a friend of truth. You will not be a friend of freedom. You're going to be a friend of repressing anybody who doesn't follow the party line. The tyranny that's in place today believes that the heart, soul, and mind of man belongs to government. And that mantra has been taken up by big corporations and social media giants and so on. And that totalitarian impulse is the opposite of liberty or progressivism or anything, any of the traditional meanings of those terms. Our country was a liberal democracy. We're fast becoming a totalitarian, bureaucratically run country, not a democracy, not a republic.
No, definitely. Except for like when the photos that you were pointing to, that's the funniest part. Like when you were pointing to photos of like when we were a democracy, a real democracy
of liberty or
with like George Washington and shit, like dog, that was when America was infinitely less a democracy. Okay? Those guys were slave owners, man. That's crazy. That's crazy that you're looking at that and going, oh, like, oh, the fucking, look how democratic it was back then when the country was run as it's intended by white male slave owners. What the fuck? Really weird if you challenge to defend fail son rapists. See, I can do it too. I can be weirdly uncharitable and miss the point of what you're saying. Everyone can do it. We just don't do it because it's annoying.
or progressivism or anything, any of the traditional meanings of those terms. Our country was a liberal democracy. We're fast becoming a totalitarian, bureaucratically
run. You said our country was a liberal democracy. There's no black people in the photos. It's like one woman. I wonder why. I wonder why there's no black people in the photos and only one woman in the photos. Perhaps maybe those guys were not a part of the democracy that you're talking about.
country, not a democracy and not a republic.
We need to walk, we need to march, we need to shout.
Transgender rights are one of the most important civil rights movements of our lifetime.
We can enact change in this country.
What is, oh, it's so scary. I can't believe AOC said we can enact change in our country. I can't believe they said transgender civil rights is one of the most important civil movements of our time. That's so scary. That's scary.
So you teach a generation that truth is subjective and ever evolving. You brainwash them to accept no alternative viewpoints. It's the woke way or no way. And then you release them into every industry of our society.
Yeah. Every motherfucker that acts like truth is objective buckles like just absolutely folds the moment that you start investigating deeper into what they believe and why they believe it. The moment that you like arrive at the conclusion that like, oh, it's because the Bible said so, You go, okay, that's your personal interpretation, and you understand how fucking subjective their truth is. You know what I mean? It's the Jordan Peterson conundrum. Jordan Peterson does this shit all the time. He loves, back when he was like at least LARPing as a liberal, he loved trying to use the Bible as the objective truth while simultaneously saying it's just simply a understanding of the symbolism within the Bible. Like understand, like our universe is dictated by the same principles that keep reinforcing itself in our art and in our culture and in, you know, religious dogma as well.
Perhaps the most pernicious infiltration? The indoctrination tool for the masses. Entertainment.
Oh, man.
For years, everyday Americans have complained about woke Hollywood.
Yeah, totally. That's what Americans are always complaining about.
But we're not here to complain. We want to create alternatives. So I decided to talk to a man who is doing just that, creating an alternative to Hollywood and multiple other industries.
One type of woman gets to express her opinions and her views. That is not... Oh my God!
Wait, that's not the man we're talking.
This will never not be funny. You know how we make fun of people on TikTok for having fake podcasts? Brett Cooper has a fake Twitch stream where she acts like she is doing a Twitch stream when she's not. They just shoot it in a fucking studio. It is mind-boggling to me that people just think like, oh no, this is great.
That is. Meet Jeremy Boring. Jeremy is the co-founder of a media and entertainment company called the DailyWire. They push buttons, they tell the truth, and they're working every day to create both news and entertainment that is free from liberal bias.
In many ways, big media has become just a propaganda arm of the left. And DailyWire.
Media's always been a propaganda arm. The left, not so much.
Wanted to correct that.
Welcome back to the comments.
We've produced written articles, news articles. We've produced podcasts. We're the 5th largest podcast publisher in the world. But beyond the Daily Wire, we've expanded into something we're calling Daily Wire Plus. And it's really a broader cultural...
Yeah. It's a cultural revolution, folks. Like when we hired Gina Carano and then put her in a movie and then filmed that movie, and then that movie got an opening weekend to 800 people watching it. That was the biggest cultural revolution. Man, if I took a shit and fucking uploaded it to my Instagram, that'd be a bigger cultural revolution by your metrics of success, okay? What the fuck?
Entertainment play. We're making movies, we're making television shows.
Probably be more interesting too. You can understand, you can develop a better understanding of my diet. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers made like $100 in the box office.
We're making kids entertainment, which I think is probably the most important fight we will ever take on.
They've also started making some pretty awesome products that offer an alternative to woke companies and other industries as well.
Jeremy's Razors is a consumer goods alternative to companies like Gillette and Harry's Razors, who have all publicly embraced the LGBT agenda. And not just the LGBT agenda, the radical gender theory being pushed on children. Daily Wire Plus, 1 million plus paying subscribers right now.
Yeah, children who famously shave with Harry's razors. Fucking so
Jeremy's
dumb.
Razors, we have sold over 100,000 Razor subscriptions. I think all of that is because the half of the country that up until now has been divided by nothing. They've had no alternatives whatsoever, are eager and hungry to engage with those alternatives when they're presented, especially if we're not exploiting them, if we're actually providing value to them. Then I think that there's enormous opportunity to succeed.
I think it's great, man. I do. Like, these guys are literally farming the dumbest motherfuckers with disposable income, okay? They're literally selling the same nonsense, the same exact product with a markup. If you're stupid enough to go out and buy this exact same product, like go out of your way and do something like this, I don't know what to tell you. You got, and you are stupid enough to get got, and you kind of deserve it.
Hollywood going woke was pretty easy to see coming. But what happened next no one expected. Sports went woke. See that guy standing while everyone else is kneeling? That's Jonathan Isaac. He plays for the Orlando Magic in the NBA. He also happened to be one of the few NBA players who publicly expressed discomfort with supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. This all came to a head when the players on his team decided to collectively kneel during the national anthem. So, he did what he felt was right. He stood. Now, Jonathan is launching his own apparel company called Unitus.
Okay, so we saw this part, which was really stupid.
The story to Ensing.
What?
With them was, but it didn't end in sports. We all know the story. It felt like the flip of a switch. Like every company in America was suddenly spouting the woke orthodoxy, and anyone who disagreed with them was ousted, condemned, and silenced. A perfect example?
Dude, I wish, man. Where? Like, I wish we could silence some of you motherfuckers, man. You never shut the fuck up. Where did the conservative movement get silenced? Like, I want to live there, brother. That's where I want to be. I want to be at the place where the conservatives actually are silenced. Oh my fucking Lord, dude. They never shut up. Like, you can't fucking say we are silenced while you simultaneously talk to the DailyWire guy who's like, we're the 5th largest podcast network on the planet. Okay? God damn, dude. Yeah, I mean, China. China is a place where the conservative movement is silenced. Only the CCP approved conservatism is allowed. And there's some conservatism there too, you know what I mean?
Amanda Ensing.
Who's Amanda Ensing? Who the fuck is
about
this?
The culture and the environment, but they don't do anything. We need to be creating our own verticals and our own.
It's so funny. It's like every time they do like an alternative, it literally is like a shittier version of something that exists already. It's like, oh, do you want Ariana Grande, but like Ariana fucking Venti, dude? Here you go. Like, there you go. It's like, no one wants Ariana Venti. You want Ariana Grande. Like, shut the fuck up. It's so stupid. And the entire point is this, okay? The entire point is this. If these people could make it on the virtue of like their content working in and of itself, they wouldn't have to fucking literally go and do this dumb shit. Their vector wouldn't be politics, right-wing politics specifically, but politics in general, okay? Myself included. If I could be a fucking funny man and rest on the laurels of my humor, I wouldn't be talking about this politics shit, okay? Just kidding. I unfortunately am brain dead enough to love politics a little too much, but regardless, especially when I'm running top of the hour ad breaks, which is my personal joy, which come at the top of every hour. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. How Fem Shapiro was created after you? Yeah, I mean, this is real. The TPUSA presentation notes, Hasan the Hun is content inspiration for Twitch streaming. Hasan is currently live reacting to Trump's appearance on the Nelt Boys podcast. Yeah. Yeah, these guys see it. They see it. They probably also see the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour because they're not fucking subscribing. But you should. Sephora took away her brand deal because they learned about her beliefs, which caused conservatives to boycott Sephora. Conservatives boycotted Sephora. Didn't even know that happened. Vardas Giallo and 5G self suck. Thank you for the 5 get subs, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. They did. It didn't work. Anyway, where the fuck were we? Oh, what is that? Is she pregnant?
This is Amanda Ensing. She's an entrepreneur, a beauty influencer, and a general badass boss lady. She started out beauty influencing with sponsorships from Sephora and other huge makeup brands. But when armchair critics started criticizing Amanda for stating her personal political beliefs, Sephora immediately canceled her.
Cutting ties with pro-Trump beauty influencer Amanda Ensing. Yeah, man. It's Sephora. Yeah, they're making a business decision. Hey, guess what? You want to know why no one fucking heard about this Sephora boycott? Because conservatives were already boycotting Sephora by not being like gay men or girls who go to Sephora. Okay? If the Barbs boycotted Sephora, now that's when you got a labor action, okay? That's when you got momentum. If the Barbs were to boycott Sephora for one reason or another, then they got no fucking workers left, okay? Tomorrow, they're done. Their entire labor force is wiped out. What fucking, like, Trump supporter is going to Sephora and be like, yeah, I can't wait to get me some of them cat eyes, you know what I'm saying? I love me some of them. I love me that eyeliner is, they call it guy liner, is fine, brother.
Her sponsorships and went so far as to publicly condemn Amanda.
So for me, I was like, you know what? The beauty industry is in shambles. It only caters to one party, one set of views. Let's create my own brand. Our first launch sold out within like a day or two. I couldn't believe it.
They shouldn't. Those shades are way too dark for your fan base, lady. Okay, her skincare goes up to like her concealer goes up to only like white and palest white.
I was just like, what? And just seeing how much women wanted this, I was like, wow. And I was scared. You know, it's terrifying putting your story out there. And when you get canceled, and with all of these people now coming for me, it's scary at first to take that first leap. But once you do, you just don't stop. The alternative to people not creating these businesses is way worse than if you would take that leap of faith. Because I
Do you know how she got canceled? No, I don't. Because I don't know who the fuck she is. I thought she was a singer until this video. I don't know who she is. I have no idea. And I will forget about her as soon as this video is over.
I don't think a lot of people realize how willing Americans are to support you. Like, we are desperate for new brands and new companies.
America needs alternatives. Oh, and if you haven't already guessed, every single one of the people we interviewed is a perfect example of not just what fighting back looks like, but what winning looks like.
Yeah, they're literally just like, they're just straight up like, oh man, all of these institutions are liberal. Let's make competitive ones by just saying that these are not woke. That's it. Except like you have an avenue to work in those institutions. You just can't cut it because you don't got what it takes. It's not like conservatives don't exist in Hollywood. Of course they do. There's plenty of fucking conservative people in Hollywood. You just don't hear them chirping nonstop because they haven't made being conservative their personality until they're like really fucking old. Harrison Ford. Clint Eastwood. Not Harrison Ford, sorry. Clint Eastwood. Angelina Jolie's dad. Kevin Sorbo, Tim Allen, Mel Gibson.
Well, I'll give you one of the insights from my investing days. It's a famous quote from Warren Buffett. Be brave where others are fearful.
Okay, so first of all, Warren Buffett woke. Secondly, if this guy is like investing in companies purely on the fundamentals, okay, and not like purely on the fundamentals and not actually on like what their corporate brand's strategy is, which by the way, I laugh at any fucking donkey-brained idiot who thinks that like BlackRock Capital is actually focusing on how woke a company is and not what their returns are, okay? But like, if he's only looking at the fundamentals, then wouldn't he be straight up only investing in established brands He's talking about Warren Buffett, for example. Like, that's Mr. Coca-Cola. That's Mr. Safety. Warren Buffett's entire fucking portfolio resembles like the most, I mean, it's the Fortune 500, you know what I mean? So doesn't that mean you're going to be doing the same thing? So you're just trying to be fucking BlackRock? Because I'm willing to bet this motherfucker is not investing in like the anti-woke Sephora or whatever the fuck if he's only caring about the fundamentals.
There's an economic opportunity. I think it might be one of the biggest economic opportunities of the next decade to serve the 100 million plus Americans.
Also, yeah, BlackRock and Vanguard don't invest based on stuff like that anyway.
Disaffected from the places where they work, where they shop, where they bank, where they invest. These are also.
I just don't think anyone cares. Like, I don't think liberals have ever been like, oh man, I'm so glad Bank of America loves homosexuals. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. These guys are literally like, oh, dude, we have a banking system, but like, if you're gay, we call you the F word. You know what I mean? Oh, sick. That's definitely where I want to go. Like, it's just so stupid. They looked at like vague, ambiguous mentions of like certain marginalized identities with no real solutions whatsoever, and literally thought that's the reason why libtards shop there and conservatives will go and shop elsewhere for the same reason. No, man, it's convenience. And also, you know what's the most convenience thing? Being a fucking monopoly, okay? So, you're not taking down Mondelez International because you decided to go to the same factory where they make the Oreos and be like, my Oreos, on the other hand, look identical, but like, that are actually fucking racist. You know? It doesn't work that way. Most people are not like, yeah, I want to make sure my Oreos say the N-word. Like, that doesn't how it's not how that works. You know what I mean?
So from an economic standpoint, some of the best customers that any business could want. That is an economic opportunity. It might be the economic opportunity of our generation. One person
only vanilla Oreos for me, brother.
Each person can look themselves in the mirror and ask, how am I going to have my own unique contributions? For me, it's in the financial institutions, in the asset management industry, and in capital markets. Somebody else, it might be starting a consumer products company. Somebody else, it might be starting a new university. Somebody else, it might be starting a new mode or new approach to entertainment. Each of us is making our own unique contributions. And I'm pretty optimistic that together, it's a mosaic that drives that change through true diversity, that dilutes the church of diversity to irrelevance.
Over the last few years, we've seen woke activists try to infiltrate every area of society: education, entertainment and media, sports, and business. And for many of us, that seems daunting. But talking with people like Vivek Ramaswamy, Mike Ferris, Jeremy Boring, Jonathan Isaac, and Amanda Ensing, we have proof that you can push back and make a cultural impact by providing alternatives. We know we're not going to change everybody's mind on these issues, and that's okay. The goal is to create a society where even if nobody's mind changed, we can all live together in a pluralistic, prosperous, civil United States. And I want to invite you on that journey. Together, we can fight wokeism in academia, in the culture, in business. But it's not just about conservatives making alternatives for other conservatives. We need more people creating just flat-out good products, media, education, you name it. We need alternatives that are good for society and good for America. I'm ready to try. How about you?
Academia is bad because it grooms children unless we are the ones who are doing the grooming, and then it's good.